entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hello everyone, this is Jim Payne, aka 10 Bensons for entertainmentbuddha.com, and I'm here to talk about a game that quite a few of you are excited about, made by a small studio called Bungie, and of course I am talking about Destiny. As most of you are aware, Sony started handing out keys for Destiny on Thursday, and I've had a chance to get into the alpha and play around for probably around about 6 or 7 hours, which is a fairly decent amount. There is a fair chunk of game for you to get your teeth into and to inverted commas test. Now, this video is going to be a first impressions of what I really thought of Destiny, and hopefully will give you some kind of insight as to the direction that Destiny is heading in, and as to whether or not you kind of agree with it. Now, Destiny is slated for release on the 9th of September this year, so there really isn't much time for them to really make any kind of drastic changes. So I'm pretty sure that what I've seen is pretty much what we're going to get when the game finally releases. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. When we think of Bungie, we think of Halo. And there's probably many of you out there right now that are thinking, hang on a minute. Really? I mean, just look at Destiny. It looks like Halo. Surely it's going to play like Halo. And that's a fair criticism to try and level at Destiny. And for the most part, I thought the same thing. And it wasn't until I got my hands on Destiny and started playing it that I realised that, yeah, okay, there are certain elements that are very reminiscent of Halo, but for the most part, the similarities are very small and slight. You kind of get the feeling that Destiny is possibly a culmination of ideas that never made it into Halo because they didn't really make sense to put them into the universe of the Master Chief, and you kind of get the feeling that because Bungie have been able to break away from the Halo series and completely let themselves loose on a new sci-fi adventure, that they're kind of putting all these ideas together. I mean, one of the big things obviously is the fact that you can choose a character, so we're not limited to just having the single, lean green fighting machine that is the Master Chief. We're now able to choose from a set of 3 different races and customize the way they look, which is a pretty big thing, considering that most people that are probably going to be interested in Destiny are old Halo fans, myself included. I was an old Halo fan. I'm not so enamoured with Halo anymore, but after seeing Destiny, it certainly piqued my interest again. And having played Destiny, I can actually say that I'm really hyped about this. It gave me very similar feelings to that very first time that I played the very first Halo and stepped out of the crashed pod and took a good look at my surroundings. There is that definite feeling there. So it's almost like a Bungie trademark. You know, they create this beautiful universe that really draws you in from the first moment that you see it and absolutely begs you to probe it and explore it further. As I mentioned earlier, you are able to choose from one of 3 different races, and you can customize certain aspects of your character's appearance, such as eye color, hairstyle, gender, which is obviously always nice to see. Hope you're paying attention, newbie. Although this is nice to have these various different options, there isn't really a massive amount of variation, so to speak. There isn't an advanced editor for you to go in and change every aspect of your character's face, which is a shame. It would have been nice to be able to do that and create a truly unique character for you to romp around the universe with. As it stands, it's pretty acceptable and it does the job. It's just a shame that the customization is not as deep as found in a lot of other games that have an RPG style element to it, which Destiny definitely is kind of striving for. It definitely has that RPG-ish kind of feel to it. Combat within Destiny is of the usual high caliber that we expect from Bungie. The controls are tight and fluid, responsive. The weapons have a real weight and a real purpose to them. And for the most part, the AI is fairly intelligent. They will duck for cover. They will be, you know, slightly more gung-ho in certain situations where they'll be a little bit more reserved in other situations. And a good example of this is if you try and snipe a particular enemy from a fair distance, you'll find that if you miss, then he'll immediately dash for cover and will pretty much stay there waiting and hoping and praying that you don't outflank them and go for a second shot. So the combat has a real satisfying feeling to it. And after you've leveled up your character a couple of times and found a few different weapons and experimented with different combinations, you start to see that you are given quite a few options as to how you can approach any given situation. And of course, the more choices you have, the better for the player. As for the co-op aspect of Destiny, I am happy to report that everything runs pretty smoothly. Like with most traditional MMO-style games, you will notice that there are a number of people around you at any given time in any part of the game world. Now, obviously, you can band together with these people or send them an invite, etc, etc, etc. But one of the most interesting things is that when you're actually out and about in the world, you have dynamic events that will randomly happen. And you can go off and you can join this dynamic event that other people can also join as well. So you don't necessarily have to be part of a group to enjoy the cooperative play. And from what I've seen, everybody sees the same enemies that are on the screen. So as you're out and about, you can just jump in and help somebody out and then go off on your merry way. Or if you would like to, possibly then team up for a little bit of co-op action for maybe, you know, one of the quests that they're into or one of the quests that you're into. So the cooperative aspect of things is kind of totally left up to you, which is an absolute boon, because I love the fact that I'm not forced to, you know, to help somebody if I don't want to. Maybe I just want to go off and level up my character some more, or go off on my own adventure and explore the land a little bit, which more often than not is what I'm actually doing. I like to go off and see what the world has to offer and see what treasures and loot that I can find. But on my travels, more often than not, I usually find somebody who's having a bit of a battle, and it's nice just to be able to dip in, help them out, kill a few enemies for them, and then go off and carry on with my journey. There are also specific missions that are co-op only that you can join if you want to. These are generally much tougher than the dynamic events that you'll find around in the standard game world. There's also a PvP arena for those of you that would like to test your mettle against other people of a similar skill to you, or try out your character class and your weapon setup and armor setup, etc, etc. So you are given a full range of multiplayer and cooperative options if you so wish to choose them. So far, Destiny is shaping up to be a pretty awesome game. There are some interesting co-op aspects in there that are sure to keep people entertained. There's not much in the way of story as yet. Obviously, being an alpha, they don't want to give away too many secrets and spoilers. But from what I have seen, there seems to be enough there to kind of get you gripped and get you hooked. Like I mentioned earlier, Bungie have this unique ability to create a world that just begs to be explored, and you kind of really want to go and see, you know, what the world has to offer. So with that in mind, I'm pretty sure that most people, once they get their hands on Destiny, will be pretty blown away by it. Now, obviously, the graphics and the sound are the usual kind of top-notch quality. They're not. It's not mind-blowing. It's not something that if anyone that's got a decent gaming PC will have not seen. But for a console game, there's some really nice touches. There's some beautiful effects in there, especially since the fact that there is a day-night cycle as well, which obviously will throw different areas of the game in different lights depending on the time of day, and that's a nice touch that you don't see often in a first-person shooter, so it's kind of cool that it's in there. The main thing that I would like you to take away from this video is that yes, it is Bungie, but no, it is 100% not Halo. Yes, there are some similarities to the old franchise of Bungie's, but you can tell that they are working really, really hard to push their own kind of creative agenda forward now that they are not constrained into making yet another, you know, successful hit for Microsoft. And you get the feeling that they're able to flex their creative muscle, and Destiny hopefully will be a successful culmination of their creative efforts. From what I've played so far of the alpha, it certainly feels like they're on the right track. And if you had your doubts that possibly Destiny would be far too similar to Halo, then I can confirm that there is enough here to separate it completely. And that's, like I said, it's the main thing that I want you to take away from this video. You know, don't dismiss this game just because it's Bungie, and just because Bungie are pretty much only known for making Halo games. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this video has given you a little bit of an insight as to the direction that Bungie are taking Destiny, and as to whether or not that you can get on board with it or not. And of course, please leave a like or comment if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel for more great gaming content, and head on over to the website at www.entertainmentbuddha.com, where we make you a better geek one post at a time. I'll see you later.
Entertainmentbuddha.com